Coffee with Liz, bringing you together, chance I get. Shout outs and tributes and what you're snacking on, Liz. Liz digging canoe, bringing you together. Liz digging canoe, get ready for the show.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Coffee with Liz. I, of course, am Liz. My coffee hasn't been delivered yet. Oh my goodness, what an interesting morning. It has been raining most of the night and it's a little bit cool outside. So I hope it is a lot nicer where you are. And as usual, we're going to see who's in my house. Most importantly, I have Gypsy is in my house. She is in the green room. Yes, I kind of worked things out as I promised last week. Gypsy is in the green room and she will join us in a matter of minutes. Now, I just want to say that if you are watching right now and you are not yet subscribed, please take like 2 seconds, doesn't even take 2 seconds, and hit the like button on this stream. It not only helps the stream to rank a little bit higher, but just perhaps we might get suggested on someone's homepage. And how cool would that be? Because that number 26 on the bottom left of your screen will like explode. And that is always, always a cool thing. So right on, right on. All right, let's see who's in the house. My goodness, like I said, wow, 29 amazing people in the house. Let's say hello to all of them. The Silver Chimp was the very, very first one in the house today, and major monkey emojis. Right on, right on. Oh my goodness, Gypsy was second. Right on, Gypsy. Oh my goodness. Flash Ed is also in the house. Thank you very much, Ed, for joining us today. Doodles Gone Digging from Scotland. Right on, Doodles. My goodness. Who else? Randolph Relic Recovery in the house. And I just want to, before I go any further, did you all see Lou Indiana Tones live streaming this morning? Oh my goodness, he was cooking up bacon and then he made eggs and he had coffee and his twins joined and like little Sebastian made like a little appearance. Oh my goodness. Yeah, if you haven't checked out Lou Indiana Tones, definitely check out his channel. And for all you foodies out there, he has a second channel where he cooks up food. Well, of course he cooks up food, but he has some amazing recipes. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh my goodness, my coffee has been delivered. So right on. Cheers to each and every one of you. And right on. Oh my, that is really, really hot. Wow, that's hot. All right. Let's continue with the hellos. The lovely Linda Wallace also in the house. Thank you, Linda. GTA Dave. Tinks 1463 from Ireland. Canuck Nation is truly international. We have people, viewers, subscribers from all over planet Earth. I am not kidding. Seriously. Jeff's Midwest Gold Adventure says Jeff is in the house today. Yes, he is. Nick, Relics and Roots from the United Kingdom. My goodness. Relics and Stow. Did I say Relics and Stacked Stones? Not sure if I did. Also from across the pond. So right on. Weird Guy in the Park is here. Oh my goodness. I'm going to try and pronounce this. I'm going to do my best to pronounce this name. 𝗠𝗢𝗢𝗪𝗢𝗓, 𝗠𝗢𝗢𝗪𝗢𝗢. Metal Detector is in the house. I apologize. I apologize for my pronunciation. I really, really do. Crazy Spider Adventures is what's going on. Wild Fellows. There's a lot of new names here. Thank you all very much for joining me this morning. Wild Fellows is here. Emily, Little Dirt Diggers, also in my house. Thank you very much, Emily. William Kennedy, here. My goodness. Mark the Berg Hunter. Texas Plug Riches. My goodness. Jimmy Cloak, also here. Jeeping John, 1976, from across the pond. Did you see their last video? Jackie, like, my goodness. Jackie got a ton of stuff in their last video. Who else? Who else? Going down the list. Sully Saving History is here. Right on, Sully. Gotcha Piper here. Hello, Gotcha Piper. My goodness. Oh yeah, Indiana Tones is in my house. Right on, right on. Thank you, Lou, for that. Goalie WB. Vance Booker. Metal Sharks are here. Wow, a lot of people here. We have like 37 already. Nick Haas also here. Oh my, what just happened? Daniela is here. And I say that because there's lots of A's at the end of that. So Daniela is here. Hello, Daniela. Stillfin is here. Sam Pirate, Treasure Hunter. Oh my goodness. I think I'm caught up. Now, before I bring Gypsy in, I was watching a video the other day with some kids, and they were metal detecting it, and I thought, wonderful for them to be out metal detecting. I commented on their video and they said, hey, can you do a shout out? So I'm like, yes, I can. So let me pop this up on the screen here before we go any further. There you go. These are the 𝗥𝗚𝗢𝗪𝗢𝗥 Boys. The 𝗥𝗚𝗢𝗪𝗢𝗥 Boys. And I'm just going to quickly just read this. In this channel, me and my bud Caden create videos on fishing, diving for lost items, mountains, camping. Like I said, I commented on their metal detecting video. They just started metal detecting. So if you have some young diggers in the house, you might want to send them over to the 𝗥𝗚𝗢𝗪𝗢𝗥 Boys. Have them check out the channel, and if they're subscription worthy, then absolutely hit the subscribe button for the 𝗥𝗚𝗢𝗪𝗢𝗥 Boys. Right on, 𝗥𝗚𝗢𝗪𝗢𝗥 Boys. All right. Okay. So, oh my goodness, I think we're going to do a little dance. Did you notice? No music today. Back by popular demand. People were saying that they missed the Bender song. So, the Bender song is back. Michael, Canadian Relic Hunter, has joined us, as has J.S. Grass Kemper. Right on, right on. And, of course, the 𝗷𝗚𝗢𝗢𝗪𝗢𝗢𝗓 Diggers. 𝗷𝗚𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗢𝗓 Diggers in the house. Right on, right on. All right. I am going to bring Gypsy up on the screen. All right. I think, let me see here. I think that, what's going on here? All right, let's do that. And then let us do, this. Oh, that's not the one. There it is. And let us do this. Good morning to you, Gypsy.
Good morning.
Oh my goodness, I feel like I have royalty in my house. Seriously.
Oh gosh.
How are you today?
I'm doing wonderful. How about you?
I am well. What's the weather like in Texas?
Well, yesterday it was about 80 degrees. It was very gorgeous. Today it looks like it's going to be clear skies again and maybe even warmer. So
wow.
probably 5. very warm.
Wow, that is absolutely wonderful. The rescued treasures have joined us. Thank you for joining. So Gypsy, we're gonna just get things started.
Okay.
Where
Great.
where did the name Gypsy come from? Because I don't think that's your real given name. Where did Gypsy come from?
Well, some of you already know that my given name is Michelle. But a while back, I was co-owner of a resale shop, and resale is treasure hunting and all in a different sense. You don't go dig it up out of the ground, but resale, you go to garage sales, you go to resale shops, all kinds of different ways to acquire items for resale. But the name of the company or the business that I co-owned, sorry, was Eclectic Gypsies. So I was with Gypsies, and that kind of birthed the nickname Gypsy, and it kind of stuck. So I thought it was appropriate for the metal detecting because, kind of like a pirate, gypsy.
Yes.
I just stuck with it. For some people, it may have a negative connotation, but I don't know. I just thought
As in like the gypsy traveler?
Yeah, more like the gypsy traveler.
Yeah, but you know what? When they see you and when they meet you, they're like, no, there's no gypsy traveler here. Right on. So like I think that most people will know you as like you are Gypsy.
Most people do. They don't know my given name, and that's okay with me. It's fun, and I'll answer to either name.
Right on. Now, I'm gonna go back to your very, very first posted video, if that's okay.
Sure.
Now, that was actually posted on January 2017. You were talking about the many detectors that you owned at the time. Now, on that video, you had the Garrett AT Pro, you had the MineLab Explorer SE, you had the Garrett 350, the Ace 350, and you had the Sea Hunter Mark II.
Yeah.
So tell us all, like, how did you start out? How did you start out in metal detecting?
That's a funny story. I was visiting Galveston, Texas at the time before I ended up moving there. Some of you know that if you're familiar with the geography here in the States, South Texas, I was born and raised in Texas. I've lived all over Texas. I've actually lived out of state only once. I lived in Louisiana for about 3.5 years. But I was visiting Galveston, the beach town, and I was about to walk into one of those little surf shops, souvenir shops. And this couple came walking up the stairs from the beach, and they had a metal detector in their hand. And me, I'm talkative and friendly, so I was curious, curious got me, and I said, hey, did you have any luck? And they were real friendly, and they said, yeah. And so they started showing me their finds that they had found, and they had like a handful of change, and they had a little pendant necklace that they had found, and a ring that day. And I said, wow, you found all that. And I was like, how long were you out there metal detecting? And they said, oh, just about 2.5 hours, a couple hours. And I was like, wow. I said right then and there, I'm getting a metal detector next time I come to the beach.
For sure.
Just a few weeks later, and ended up buying a Radio Shack because I didn't know anything about metal. And it ended up breaking on me the first day, but I took it back, got another one, and so that's how it began.
So were you one of those people that kind of and not that we're going to like age anybody or anything like that, but Was that like maybe later on in life that you got that you started detecting, or were you like really, really young?
Um, I'm getting up there.
Shh, shh.
I one again, no. It was I started when I was crawling, but I'm going on 22 years of metal detecting.
Ah.
I kind of go by the birth of my oldest son because he was brand new when I got my first Radio Shack metal detector.
Okay.
A baby in diapers, and when he turns 22 in August, it'll be 22 years of metal detecting.
Do you ever think that, oh, I wish I had found metal detecting or discovered the hobby sooner?
All the time. Because I remember when I was young, my dad would take me, we would go all over, me and my brother and my dad. He would take us exploring on these little adventure walks. And he would take us, and we lived in West Texas at the time growing up, and you could walk for miles. You could walk on just about anybody's property then,
Right.
and they care.
Yeah.
Anyway, I remember just digging. There was a vacant lot across from our house, and me and my cousins came to visit from Oregon. And I remember digging in that lot across the way and finding a little brooch. It had rubies in it.
Ooh.
And me and my cousins were digging, and I didn't know detectors existed yet.
Yeah.
I was clueless. And
Yeah.
I wish I would have had one back then.
Yeah. Yeah. Now you were early on in the hobby, you were in Florida. Like, so you were like beach detecting, were you not?
Actually, I lived in Galveston. So yeah, I lived two blocks from the beach. And so I could walk to the beach from my house.
Right.
And,
do you prefer the like the beach detecting, or do you prefer like dirt detecting?
Well, I'll say this, it's easier to dig on the beach, soft sand and stuff.
Right.
But I really love the relics. I love history. But I think that, in the beginning, a lot of us for me, I equated metal detecting, like my first encounter with these people. Metal detecting came up from the beach and were detecting the beach.
Mm-hmm.
And, you kind of get that mental thing when you're younger. You might see someone detecting on the beach, and that's kind of that mental concept. Oh, you go to the beach and you can go detecting.
Yes.
And I didn't even, it opened a whole new world for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because I ended up, once I finally moved to Galveston, and living so close to the beach detecting and surf water detecting became a huge part of my life.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, it kind of escalated into learning about the history. It opened up new doors, and that's when I had a vast array of detectors, and opening a metal detecting store.
So you had a physical store.
I did.
All right. Is that where I can't remember the name of that the place in Florida. You sometimes
visit. Now that every summer we vacation in Florida. I would say in July, and first time I had came, I had a coil that went out on me. And I ended up finding in Tampa, Florida, a local dealer there, and I bought a new coil.
Right.
And then every time I came back to Florida, one year I ended up, I think, renting a scoop because it was easier than packing it.
Yes.
And stuff like that.
Yes.
So, but yeah, I love detecting. When I go to Florida, you just never know what you're going to find.
Yeah. Now you've also been posting lots of videos where you're like in the water, like in the creeks or that kind of thing. Tell us about that. What is it that draws you into the water?
Um, I think it's just like anyone. If if you notice, like if you go back and view some of my videos, you've noticed anything to do with water. People, we're naturally attracted to water. Um, it's calming, just like the ocean, the waves, the sound. It's a calming. It's just a part of nature that we're drawn to as humans,
Mm-hmm.
I think. And for me, I guess because I lived in Galveston and I beach hunted so long, I got into all aspects of metal detecting. And because I lived so close to about three different rivers and several creeks, um, I was drawn to the rivers and creeks for several reasons. Number one, because a lot of these rivers and creeks, if you look at history, um, before we had running water in our houses, people had to go to the rivers and the creeks for water, for bathing, for washing their clothes, for watering their cattle and their horses, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And so the rivers and creeks, there's so much history along those areas.
Mm-hmm.
And so for me, that's always drawn me to the rivers and the creeks, is the history and the things that I've found along the rivers and the creek in the creeks as well. Because a lot of, if you start researching your area that you live in, and you find any rivers or creeks, you'll find that most of those rivers and creeks, some of the original homesteads that were founded in that area were usually founded along those areas.
Mm-hmm.
They may not exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So that, and then having that background, of course, from living in Galveston and being at the beach,
And it doesn't help, or I would think that it would be a great way to cool off. Like you said, it was like 80 degrees today.
Yeah, in Texas, it gets really hot in the summer. So it's, a lot of people, they wait for the summer to go metal detecting, but then most of the day it's almost too hot for them to go.
Yeah, that's true.
Overheated. And so it's a great way to cool off as well.
So like today you said it's 80 degrees. Is that still too cold to go into the water, or is that like relatively speaking here?
That's a good question, because I'm cold natured. So when it gets to 90, that's usually when I start getting into the water.
Really? Wow.
The water, a lot of the rivers and creeks around here. Now, some of the creeks are a little warmer than the rivers.
Yeah.
A lot of the water around here is way colder when you get in the water. So there's a river called the Frio River, and Frio in Spanish is cold. It's I wouldn't, at least 15 to 20 degrees colder than it would be outside.
Okay.
So I have to wait for it to heat up before I
really?
get in. Or wear my waders, or
yes.
Something
wow.
like that.
Too funny. I'm gonna kind of like this has nothing to do with what we were just talking about, but when did the kazoo for silver come about? Because you kind of still do that. When did the kazoo, like, who carries a kazoo, Gypsy? Like, is that a Texas thing or what?
It's not.
Like, seriously, who does that?
Crazy people. No, it's funny. It kind of goes back to my childhood. I remember, I think it was like the 4th grade. We had a teacher. We put like on a little play. I've always been in theater and stuff like that. And we put this play on, and we did this whole song and with a kazoo. And it was funny. About the time I started my channel, I had made a joke about, oh man, I could play that on a kazoo. And I played the clarinet in high school. Um, so I'm not music. I'm not very musical, but I love music. But I did play. But for some reason that was so I made this joke, kind of like, oh, I could play that on a kazoo. And then that Christmas, I got a kazoo in my stocking. Well, one day, I don't know where the idea came from, but you know how we get those crazy ideas sometime. And so I thought, oh, that would be funny to do something when I find her. So
Well,
something.
too funny. I think you're the only person that celebrates silver with the kazoo. That's
Uh,
funny. That's funny. Uh, you also do you also do dump and bottle digging. Like um uh, tell us about that. Like do you really enjoy digging in the dump?
I do. I have. I guess for me, I enjoy all aspects of treasure hunting.
Mm.
I think us as humans, we all have some type of treasure hunting built within us, whether it's looking for a bargain or
Yes.
digging something up that was discarded in the past or was lost, um, all the way to old dumps and stuff. Something about bottles and just anything old has always fascinated me. When I was younger, my mom used to, her fun time was, let's go to the antique shops.
Mm. Yes. Yes.
I grew up, those antiques and being, ooh,
Mhm.
so fascinated by history. I didn't like history in high school. It was always memorizing these dates and
Yes,
stuff
that's
like.
true. That's true.
But as I got older, and I just always have loved antiques and old things.
Mhm.
And but yes, I love digging in the dumps.
Right now.
It's
What's the coolest thing you ever found in a dump?
in a dump. Um, well, um, I I'm sure you watched my video. One of my favorite things that I found in a dump was the old bar token that I found in
Mm.
Arizona. It's kind of octagon or
Mhm.
hexagon shape.
Mhm.
And when I found it, it was in a layer of ash
Mhm.
and it looked terrible.
Mhm.
And we had been at the Las Vegas, what do you call it, SHOT Show
Mhm.
with Garrett. I was there at the Garrett booth. And after that, I went back with Tim and Carlotta, um, and stayed with them in Arizona. And we went dump digging. And
Ah.
that was my favorite find there. Oh man, there we had so much fun.
Oh, I'm sure you did with them. They
At,
are.
at the You can imagine, at the end of the day, I mean, we were just covered with, and you should have saw us trying to walk to a restaurant, to go
Oh,
eat.
oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now, do you the bottles bottle do you bring bottles home? Do you have a big bottle collection or, after you have a few you think, well, kind of thing?
I've gotten a little more selective because you can bring too much home.
Yes.
um,
Yes.
I try to. I love soda bottles, even though some of the
Ah.
soda bottles aren't that old.
Mhm.
I've soda bottles, so I've got even some that aren't as old. I just
Mhm.
like collecting them. But I love collecting the old cork top bottles,
Mm.
and
Mhm.
so I think that may even come from a part of a childhood. My dad has the old ones with that still have
Ah.
on them.
Mhm.
Uh, and then some of them still have fluid and stuff in them.
Right.
Um, and he's collected those, from antique shops,
Mhm.
and I can remember digging old cork top bottles as a kid, my dad showing me, oh, these are cork top. This is old, and
Right.
saving.
That's pretty
And
cool.
I have a few of those bottles still that I did as a kid. And I guess that might have carried on a little with,
Right.
through the years.
Absolutely. Now I've seen like some of those bottles are, and then when you do like the Crocs, really, really big. I've seen a lot of people lately finding the like just keeping the little small ones, like the like almost micro-sized bottles, because you can have a
Right.
ton of those and they don't take up much room.
And they take up as much room.
That's right.
I'll tell you what I've had to do. I've had to move part of my collection into the garage.
Yeah. That could actually become your like museum.
It's starting to.
That's all right. That's all right. Now you also do like you do a ton of you also do fossil hunting. You seem to really like get excited when you find fossils.
I do. And that definitely comes from my childhood. When I was a kid, I told you I lived in West Texas. Part of the time in West Texas, there's these old flat top mountains, and we lived in McCamey, Texas at the time. And my dad, like I said, when he was off work, he would take me and my brother out and we would go adventuring. And he would take us to Kings Mountain, to the edge of Kings Mountain, and go fossil hunting. And he has always been a scientist. He loves rocks. He is we call him mad scientist. He's not mad, but
right. Yes.
But as a kid, he would take us fossil hunting, and he would teach all the names of these different fossils. And we would go insect bug hunting, butterfly hunting.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
All kinds of fun adventures.
Good memory. Sounds like you had a wonderful childhood.
I really did.
Yeah.
I really did.
Yeah.
I think that adventure part stuck with me, and I tried to do the same with my kids, and
yes.
take them. Now they're that age, they would rather be, although my oldest is he'll be 22 soon. But in my 16-year-old, he it's hard to get him off, the electronics. They used to go adventuring with
Yeah. That's I think that's the same for everybody out there. When we were kids, oh my goodness, when we were kids, we used to go out right after breakfast. The only time you'd come in maybe for lunch, and then you're back outside, and then it was like, come home when the street lights come on. It's like we never saw our parents.
I remember my earliest memories. I was always outdoors, and I can remember being in diapers, out digging flower bed, digging in the dirt.
Oh my goodness. And back then, you ate dirt, you had dirt on your face, and you never got sick because your immune system was like, you were eating dirt.
Exactly.
Now everybody like gets colds and stuff all the time, but that's another I digress. So Gypsy, you also do magnet fishing. I've seen a couple of your magnet fishing videos.
Yeah, and I kind of have to say I had to give Aquachigger credit for that. I'd watched one of his magnet fishing videos, and I was like, oh, I gotta get me a magnet. And so I've got I think 3 magnets.
Wow.
And if I'm, in an area or I see a good little area, I'll like go throw it in a few times. But I haven't found anything too great. I found some knives, a lot of fishing tools, and things of that nature. But am I,
I don't think I've ever really watched a video where somebody actually got something really, really cool with the magnet. It seems to be, like you said, knives, junk.
Yeah, I I'm almost scared to find a, you know, big, find a gun or something. I know I'd have to call the police or something.
Do you now? You said you had 3. Like I've seen some like huge magnets. You could probably pull a truck out with them.
Right.
I don't know if I'd want to pull out a truck.
I wouldn't. I have been magnet fishing before where it's latched on to something very big.
Yeah.
And it was to unhook. I was like, I'm not going to be pulling that.
Have you ever had to go in and retrieve a magnet?
Knock on wood.
You probably will next week now that you said that.
Probably. I took my boys out. We went to, this was right after I'd got my first magnets. I bought 2 and my oldest son didn't tie it off.
Oh.
In the water in it.
That's hilarious. Oh my God. That's hilarious. Oh my God. That's absolutely hilarious. Too bad you didn't get that on video because that would have been hilarious.
It would have been fun.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm getting a coffee refill. How's your coffee, Gypsy?
It's cold.
Yeah, I can't drink cold coffee. Unless it's like iced. If it's iced coffee, that's a little different. But when my coffee goes like lukewarm, I really can't drink it anymore.
And this is the San Antonio blend that I'd given you. It's my favorite.
You know something? I was watching Indiana Tones today, and he actually spoke of me drinking your coffee. And
Really?
I said that the San Antonio blend that you sent my way was absolutely a primo coffee. Primo coffee.
It's
really,
my
really
favorite.
good. And Gypsy, I noticed that you have it. Put your coffee cup up again if you don't mind. Gypsy has coffee cups. How can people get those coffee cups if they want, Gypsy?
Okay. So if they go to my last video, I think I've got 2 links in the video description. You can go to Zero Discrimination on YouTube, and you can click on one of those links to get my merch. Also, I put a link on the community tab.
Yes.
And you can go there, or you can even hop on over to Facebook. I have a Zero Discrimination Facebook group, and there's a link on there as well.
Perfect. Perfect. There you go. You can get your Gypsy Zero Discrimination merch. Now, Gypsy, you moved from the AT Pro to the AT Max, which has been like your go-to detector. Is it you like it better than the AT Pro?
You know, it's funny. They both have their purpose. I recently did a video. Well, I did 2 videos because we've been on lockdown here with the virus. And I did them in my backyard. And one was on, let's talk metal detectors. And what I was trying to get at, or make a point of, I don't know if I got it over. But it doesn't matter what brand you're using. But of course, I do use the Garrett brand. And I've used all kinds of different brands through the years. That was one of the advantages I had when I owned my own metal detecting store. And I got to try out different brands and stuff like that. So one point, I think that every detector has something to offer, something different to offer. And with that said, yes, my go-to machine is the Max. And for the main reason it's my go-to machine is, number one, it is waterproof, just like the Pro, but the sensitivity is a lot stronger. So meaning it will go deeper than my Pro. It also has the true all metal mode on there, which I've been able to go to some areas that I had hunted before with other machines and pull out silver amongst all the trash and the iron and stuff
right.
I had missed. So there are some advantages to having a machine like that versus, but I still use my Pro. In fact, I'll be uploading a new video today, and part of that video I'm using the Pro, and then the other half I'm using the Max. So I still use both, but my go-to machine is the Max because the sensitivity and the extra little bonuses it has on there.
Now, what about the Apex? Are you excited about the Apex? I know Nick Hass is like, ask her about the Apex. Without divulging any secrets that you might be like, you know, found in some desert in Texas. What can you tell us about the Apex? What are you allowed to tell us about the Apex?
So what I can say is basically what Garrett's kind of already hinted at in the 2 teaser videos is that it is a one that you can charge that doesn't have the batteries like the AA batteries like Max and the Pro and the Gold. So it'll be different from any machine that Garrett has. And it is lightweight.
That's important.
That's very important, which really, when you look at how much the AT Pro weighs versus any other machine, they're usually going to be, it depends on the coil, more than anything, coil in the box or the main thing. So it will be a lighter weight box. But the most important thing, which I think is going to set it apart from anything on the market, is Garrett is saying new technology.
Interesting.
I think that, the name itself, if you look at the meaning Apex, go look it up if some of you don't know what the is. So I think the name says a lot too. So I think it's gonna really say a lot.
Now, are you gonna have one of these before before most of us are able to even get them?
Yes, I'll be testing basically what they will call a prototype, and I will be making videos, and I should be getting mine in anytime. I was told 2 weeks ago that I'd be getting one within 2 weeks, so the week is almost up. So hopefully this week I'll be getting mine. Of course, I won't be able to put a video out.
Yes, that's true.
Until the 15th, May 15th, when they actually come out and show them.
Now there were you mentioned the teaser videos. Now there's a lot of people are saying that the acting of those teaser videos was subpar, and they're actually saying that perhaps you should have been in those teaser videos as opposed to the 2 gentlemen that they picked.
Well, I'll put it this way: they're not actors.
No kidding.
And another thing, I think Garrett. What I will say about that is Garrett was going to be releasing this machine sooner.
Oh.
And this, because of having to close down the home office and the manufacturing facility because of the virus, they had to come up with a different plan. So they had to have a spot within their place where they could go video this. So this was a that they had to come up with on the fly. And I think, regardless, people are going to love it or they're going to. And, they had to, have something close by, probably without divulging much information, probably a property that is owned by one of the owners of the company, and etc. People that family members.
Oh, I got you now. I totally got you now. So the Apex, according to Gypsy, this is like world breaking news here, people. All right, only on this channel. So the Apex, according to Gypsy, is going to be lightweight. That's important. If it could be anywhere near the Deus, I'd be like all over that. I would totally be all over that. Any idea on, now there were some teasers and I saw a lot of stuff on social media about the design of the coil. Now, apparently the coil is also supposed to be different.
Yes. Now, again, this there's a lot of speculation.
Yes. Okay, now we totally understand that you can't say anything, but perhaps we can extrapolate something from what you're saying.
Okay, so what I can say is we can speculate on ideas of what this coil might be. Now, my good friend Mike Hare, which a lot of you already know, which we had you on as a guest, 𝗥𝗔𝗗𝗪𝗢𝗥 and I, not too long ago, on All Metal Mode podcast on Monday nights. You can go back and listen to Liz when we had her on in the archive. So, but I've been, I've got a lot of people going, hey, what can you tell me? What can you tell me? And I'm like, and he's sitting there going, well, they said this about the coil, and he's going, well, it sounds like a coil within a coil. And I said, well, I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know.
Now, do you know anything about, is it going to be waterproof? Do you know anything about that? Can't say? Okay. All right. That's fair. I'm just, I'm not,
but I really don't know.
Okay. So if anyone in the chat has questions about the Apex, drop them in the chat and @diggingcanuck. I'll ask Gypsy. She may or may not be able to tell us, but, what about the, any idea the, okay, I'm just going to say stuff and you can say yes, no, I don't know, top secret, whatever. What about the, so we don't know if it's waterproof. I would think that it would be waterproof. Otherwise.
It would be.
Okay. Now, what about price point? Now, the Jersey History Hunters said, would it be more expensive than the Max? Less expensive? Do we know? Is it going to be like entry price to deal with or to compete with the Simplex?
Now, honestly, I'm saying this honestly, I really don't know that. I have guessed. My guess, okay, this is strictly, let me stress.
Hold on, I'm going to give you the full screen here. Okay, there you go. Go ahead.
This is strictly word on the street, rumor. You mentioned the 𝗥𝗢𝗢𝗪𝗢𝗡𝗏. Rumor has it that it is similar to the dais, but again, that's rumor, totally rumor. I have not seen it yet. I'm strictly going off, rumor, and that may be totally wrong. So I really don't know on the price point, what it's going to be. I have my guesses, but it would just be a guess, honestly.
Yeah. All right. So we've talked about the battery. It's going to be rechargeable. It may be similar to a dais, perhaps. I got to say something, Gypsy. If the weight on the Apex is like oh my goodness, I had an 𝗥𝗢𝗢𝗪𝗢𝗡𝗏 and I'm like, this thing doesn't even weigh a feather. I mean, I could detect with the dais all day. It's just, it's just a little, well, it's a different kind of a detector for me. But if this Apex is anything like the weight of the dais, I kind of have a funny feeling that I might just pop on it. I just might.
Yeah, I think probably with this machine, just by if you watch the teaser video, and I had people, freezing the screen.
Yeah, there's a lot of that on social media. The one where you can actually see the armrest in the box.
Yeah. And a lot of people are freezing that, and I think the main thing for any detector, most of the weight, once it's lightened, the weight is lightened in the box. The rest of the weight is going to depend on the coil. And, you know, anytime you go with a larger coil, it gets heavier and heavier. And I think that's going to be the main thing, will be the coil. And already, if they're saying it's lighter weight, you know, it's going to be lighter than the 2 or 3 pound 18 max. So it's got to be at least 2 pounds, so, or less.
And you said that it might be like a 2-in-1 coil kind of thing. Like, we don't know that, right? But
we really don't know that.
Interesting.
This is all speculation.
Interesting. So it's quite possible that there could be like a something that would actually be like equivalent to a big coil, but in the coil that they have created. Quite possible.
Yeah. So speculation.
Yeah.
Me and my friend Mike, you know, he was like, "Oh, just watch the video, and they have to change the coil." So years and years and years ago, Garrett had made a coil within a coil where you did a switch.
Oh.
It did the smaller coil within.
Oh, that's interesting.
Now, this Garrett is saying that it's new technology.
Yeah.
It could have that. That's again what we're speculating.
That's interesting.
But it's a thought, you know. It could,
because they actually alluded to that in the I think in the second teaser, that the coil, something to do with you like getting closer to, you know what, that might be a possibility. Interesting.
So that's what we're speculating. So I guess we won't really know until the reveal. Until the reveal. But it's something to think about. And I think that whatever it is with the new technology, because that would be new technology.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, I think we can say, you know, for a made in the USA company, Garrett, if you look at the past of where Garrett began to now, you know, I know there's a lot of awesome detectors on the market, but usually it was Garrett that would set a trend, and then someone would build off that. And that's usually what's happened, you know.
Because Garrett has sort of had the limelight kind of dim on Garrett, and it's actually kind of moved to Mindlab and others. So they're going to have to like seriously come up with like something. Wow. And a double coil, like if you could have the little like the hockey puck coil and then like the bigger like deeper coil, how cool would that be? That would be like really cool.
Yeah. So I really don't know. I guess we're all, you know, again, it's just speculation, but just by watching the video. And they have been very secretive on this. When I did the manufacturing facility months and months ago, they, you know, I'd even introduced me to one of the tech guys, but that was one room. I wasn't even allowed to go into.
So Gypsy, you said you might be getting the Apex in like maybe a week perhaps. Now, are you like going to be like super stealthy mode because you don't want people following you around or paparazzi, you know, following you around getting clips of the Apex? You're going to be like in secret hunker down, lockdown, ultra lockdown mode for the next until they release it.
Yeah, you know, when he said that I would get it within 2 weeks, you know, that was right. I think the day before they announced that it was coming, that they were going to show it on May 15th. I think originally they were going to release it on May 1st. But because of all the virus thing, you know, they've had to, you know, it's really set them back. I originally was going to be going to Italy, and they were going to introduce it at the rally there. unfortunately, you know, with the virus and everything, all that
Yes.
got
Yes.
so.
Mm. All right. So, okay. I think that we have, I think we have an idea of the apex. I know there's a lot of people that, you know, have their wishes that, you know, they wish they would do
Yeah.
this, that, and the other thing. So we're all just going to have to wait until, what did you say, May 15?
May 15th. If you go to the Garrett page, they're up at the very top of the Garrett website. There's a place where you can go on there and you can enter, and you can be in that live stream that's going to happen May 15th. I think it's somewhere in the AM. And what they're going to do is they're also going to be giving away prizes, and they're going to be giving away an apex.
Oh.
That apex won't, until it hits that market, you know,
Right.
they won't get it until then, but they're one of the first ones that will get a apex.
Right on. Now, speaking of Garrett, because you are affiliated with Garrett, just recently, and I was really, really shocked when I saw this, but you were provided with the Garrett, is it ATX, or what was that really? You were given the Garrett ATX, which if some people don't know what that is, it's like probably the biggest, largest, I think, metal detector on the planet. How the heck did you swing that? Seriously, I know we're about the same size. You might even be a little smaller than me, but like seriously, how the heck does someone wow, how did you swing that? Really?
So it comes with a strap that holds the weight of the detector. And what that does, that strap comes onto the shaft, and it has like this little bungee thing on it that holds that weight. And that strap comes around to your neck and shoulder. And so the weight is distributed. So you really don't, you're basically kind of barely swinging your body, and you don't even feel the weight of the machine.
Do you like the machine? What do you like about it, or when would you use it?
It's mainly there's really two ways you would want to use that. And I also talk about that if some of you get a chance to go back and watch my video that I posted recently, Let's Talk Metal Detectors. I recently used it. There's one river here in Texas called the Llano River. And I recently joined the GPAA, the Gold Prospectors of America local chapter, and which I didn't really know there was chapters here in Texas, but there is. And because it's not really known for finding gold here in Texas, but there's a lot of finer gold found in the Llano River. So I used it on the Llano River for the first time. And I also tested it in East Texas. Now, the machine is a PI, a pulse induction machine, which is different from your VLF machines, which work off a very low frequency. The difference between the PI, the pulse induction machine, which the Garrett C-Hunter Mark II and the GTX are both pulse machines. The main difference between those machines is they work really good in highly mineralized soil. Now, when you get into gold prospecting, you encounter a lot of mineralized soil. And a lot of the VLF machines cannot, they have issues. And that's where that machine really performs in those highly mineralized areas. So you would want to use it for gold prospecting, and you would want to use it, you know, a lot of people that go to these Virginia hunts in Virginia.
Yes, DIV.
So when you go to those, a lot of them will bring a pulse machine because it works well in that highly mineralized soil. So they're digging super, super deep. That machine is deep. A trend for, you know, but you can find those bullets that people miss, you know, and those belt plates and stuff.
Wow. Now, Nick Haas, we were talking about Garrett coming up with new stuff. Nick Haas asked, any word on a new pinpointer, perhaps, for Garrett? Have you heard anything?
I really don't know. Now, when I was in Vegas with a lot of the Garrett team and hanging out with, I was discussing with one of the marketer people there, and they were talking about the new. Even then, I didn't even know the name of the Apex, and so they were talking about plans for the future, and all I can say is that Garrett's going to be, they may not crank them out super fast, but Garrett will be putting out more stuff, and I think that after the Apex, they're going to move on to whatever the next product is that they want to improve or work on, and it very well be a pinpointer. I'm really not sure, but just be on the lookout for Garrett being on top of that and really working some more machines.
Yeah, so. I can imagine that with like Nokta and the Simplex and like and MindLab, they're like, oh, they kind of fell out of the mainstream.
Here's what happened. Garrett when Garrett came out with the AT Pro, and I couldn't even tell how many years that has been. They were the first ones to put a VLF machine and waterproof it that really gained popularity fast. And being that trendsetter that they are, then all these other companies built on that and started coming out with all this other stuff. So yeah, it does kind of leave Garrett, behind a little, but I think with this new Apex and other future things that Garrett's future is going to be bright, and just to continue, those of you that love Garrett and love the quality and especially the customer service. They've always been known for their customer service. To keep continuing and supporting.
Right on. Now, speaking of the limelight here, you celebrated your 5,000th subscriber in August of 2019, and you're like, I think you're at like 5,400 or something like that. Did you ever think that Gypsy Zero Discrimination would like explode? Did you ever think that?
Nope, not in a million years. It's funny, we all start our channels, for different reasons. And for me, most of you know that, I had kidney cancer. And when I found out, that I had kidney cancer, and then I went through surgeries, it was after that second surgery that, you take a look at your life and you go, what are the things that what am I most passionate about? And for me, one of my biggest passions was metal detecting. And I was writing back, it was after I had gotten to metal detect a property after my second surgery, and I hadn't detected in so long, and I was still sore and stuff like that. And it was a trip we took, and I got to detect this old Victorian property. And this is before I had my YouTube channel. And riding back in the car, I'm sitting there and I'm kind of leaning against the window, looking out. And I just all of a sudden started thinking about, oh, that was so much fun getting out metal detecting. And I don't know where this came from, but this thought popped in my head. And it was as if it was a voice. I don't know where it came from. It said, start a YouTube channel. I did not watch YouTube.
Wow.
So it was weird. it just said start a YouTube channel. And I said it out loud right then and there. I'm starting a YouTube channel. And I did.
Wow.
Within a couple more weeks later, I started a YouTube channel. I didn't know what I was, and I knew I was going to. And if you go back to the very first video,
I did.
very first few videos, you'll notice that I broke my ankle.
Yes, that's right. Yes, you were wearing that soft cast thing.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's weird. So I started my channel, got it off to a rocky start. And my quality then of videos was pretty sad, or it was more the sound quality.
Well, we all have to start somewhere.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But not in a million years, you know, I would have ever thought that it would even lead to, you know, being part of the field team for Garrett.
Yeah. Right on.
I'm just, yeah.
Yeah, right on.
It all started just wanting to share my passion for metal detecting with others.
Now, no, we met last year at Pound the Ground, and I got to say, I had an amazing time meeting you. But we didn't. I know you were feeling you lost your voice. You weren't feeling that great. We did not get a chance to. I mean, I just wanted like 10 minutes just to like swing the coil beside you and maybe find one thing. But I will have to do that next time.
Definitely, and no getting sick for me. What had happened is the day before Pound, the Garrett, we had gotten there, we flew in, got our motel, and we had some daylight left. And Steve Moore, the marketing director for Garrett, I think you might have met him. He said, "Hey, we're gonna go find a permission," and we went and found we found 2 permissions that we got to go hunt. And it started kind of raining the second day. Wind started. And going from Texas warm weather to that wind and rain climate change and stuff, and detecting out in that, my body said, nope, you're gonna get sick. And
you did.
It was bad. I felt bad. I was getting to meet some people, meet people like you, Jersey History, Hoarder, all these people that I've been wanting to meet, and I could barely talk to.
Did you enjoy Pound the Ground otherwise?
I did. It was hard for me, I really will say, because you saw me that day. We hung out in the van. And that particular day, I was actually feeling probably a little better that day than I was the day before. The day was real pretty when we got out in the field. I was feeling awful. I even laid down in the field.
Wow. Yeah. Awful. Wow. So this year, because of the virus, you've had probably most of your events. You were supposed to go to Italy. You've had them canceled.
Yeah, unfortunately, canceled and postponed. You know, the Garrett event was postponed. And I was really sad about that. And especially the Italy, because it was my first time to go to Italy.
Yeah.
And to have, you know, these major events. And I also had another trip planned that was supposed to happen this month, and it's gotten canceled as well.
Yeah.
I was going to go back to Maine with my co-host on Monday nights, 𝗥𝗔𝗗𝗓𝗪𝗥. Go back to the button dump.
Oh.
Yeah. And that's canceled. So.
Yeah. That's cannot be helped. Be helped. Now, what's the furthest? I guess Italy would have been the furthest that you've traveled for an event.
Yeah. It would have been the furthest.
Yeah.
Hopefully, you know, things once after this stuff gets over, I would go to the UK and to tell.
Yeah.
I'd love to come to Canada. It's been a long time.
That would be nice. Hint, hello, Garrett, Toronto.
Toronto. I've been to Canada once. It was a long time ago in college. So
Did you see the falls? Did you go to
I
Niagara
did
Falls? Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
from the Canadian side, which is
Yes. Yes, the falls from the Canadian side are incredible. The American falls, not so much.
right. Beautiful.
Now we're oh my goodness, we're in overtime, Gypsy. But I
Uh,
just want to say that is there going to be any more Gypsy live streams? Like, will Treasure Talk come back, or maybe not? Do you know?
yeah, I probably will do another one, and I figure, well, I'll have to be careful when I get the apex.
Yes, you are.
So I probably that might be too tempting, so I probably won't.
Actually, you know what? That's true. Like I said, you got to lay low. You got to lay low for like 2 weeks. You can't go anywhere. You can't talk to anybody because you just might let something slip. That would not be a good thing.
That wouldn't. So, anyway, yeah, I may do another live stream soon. I'm bad about, I don't schedule very, like usually the day before, if not last minute,
Yeah.
uh, kind of when I have time.
Yeah.
With my kids, playing their video games and stuff like that, I've found it's better when they go to their dads. Got to watch all too much.
Gypsy, tell us about your podcast with Amanda. You've mentioned it a few times. Tell us about that.
Okay, so Monday nights on Spreaker.com, you can go to all metal mode on Spreaker, and you can join in the chat. It's 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, and you can look that up with your time zone and see when that airs live. If you go and listen live, you can join in on Spreaker on the chat and ask questions for whatever guest. Actually, this coming up, we've got Karen, Metal Pirate Girl.
Oh, there you go. Right.
Yeah,
And that's, you said that was it Monday?
Monday night.
Monday night on Spreaker.com. MPG joins the show. Right on. That should be a good show.
So it'll be fun. And I got to meet her at Pound as well.
Mm-hmm.
So
yes.
I think that was my favorite thing about Pound, is just meeting people.
Yeah. Did you actually, like, I know you were sick. Did you actually dig?
I did a little. The day it was so windy.
Yeah.
I got out and I finally got into one field. I found a flat button.
Oh.
And, it was so windy, and I was about blown away. And I had to get back and go to the Garrett booth. I think that's another thing that probably ate up a lot of my detecting time too, and you really get is being at the Garrett booth.
Yes.
As well.
Mm-hmm.
So helping out with that.
Mm-hmm.
And being there. So
yeah.
But anyway, and the mess that we had, remember at the
the
great
the meet and greet. Oh, I don't think I were you doing Garrett business?
Yeah, I was at the Garrett booth.
Okay.
It was
insane.
It was
crazy.
And I hadn't lost my voice all the way yet then.
So it was after the meet and greet you went detecting?
So, I had started to lose my voice, but it wasn't that bad yet. I wasn't feeling bad yet. So
wow, crazy. So have you ever participated in a seated hunt? Not for Garrett, like yourself?
Seated hunts, I used to years ago. It kind of goes back to when I started when I opened up my metal detecting store. It was called the Treasure Finders. I opened up a metal detecting store, had a website, brick and mortar store on the wall in Galveston, right across from the beach. And I actually ended up I was the founder of the Galveston Island Treasure Club. There, I helped start the club that's still there now. And some of my very first hunts were some seated hunts that we planned. And also I had, joined one of the Texas groups there, and they had a hunt every year and a treasure show. And before the treasure show, they would have a hunt, a seated hunt. So I would go to those. But for me, I'm not, I want to dig the stuff in the raw, not the planted stuff.
Yeah, and you seem to like relics as opposed to the
relics.
Yeah, relics. Yeah, I lean to relics as well.
They tell a story. I mean, I love finding the coin.
Oh, for sure.
But the relics just really speak to me.
Exactly. Now, Gypsy, for someone just starting out with all your experience, do you have any advice for a new detectorist?
I'd say the number one thing is persistence. I think that so many people go out and they expect to just really find all kinds of treasures their first time. I mean, there is beginner's luck. But number one thing is whatever detector you decide on, I don't care if it's the least expensive, like what I started out with, a Radio Shack, or whatever it is, learn your machine. Learn the ins and outs, take it out, try it, learn how it responds to every signal, and learn every possible thing you can about your machine. That's the number one thing.
Right on. So we're just there. I've been reading the chat as we've been going along. People want to know what's your best find ever. Doesn't need to be a coin or anything, but what's your best find? Coolest find, whatever.
I think my favorite all-time find, I found a Civil War Eagle officer belt plate.
Oh.
That is one of my all-time favorite finds, because you think about a Civil War officer wore that sword belt.
The history, there you go.
History again behind that. My second favorite is I found a men's platinum wedding band with my 𝗥𝗔𝗗𝗓𝗏 when I lived in Galveston. And I was with my dad.
Right on.
To visit, and he was digging for me, and to see that, he got to see how excited.
Did he get excited too?
He got excited.
Oh, right on.
He still did.
Oh, right on. That is so cool. So what is your oldest coin?
I have two. I have a half penny, British half penny that I found in the river, 17 something.
Wow.
And then most of you already know about my Roman coin that I found in, and I'm still so scared to clean it up.
Yeah, I don't know that I would clean it.
I think it's bronze. I took photos the other day of it because a friend wanted to see it, and I'm just so scared.
Yeah, I would think that if it was going to be cleaned, it would have to be like a conservator, somebody that knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
Definitely. So that's your oldest. So that's your oldest coin.
That's mine. Yes.
Is there a relic or something that you've just never been able to dig, but you're like, oh, I wish I could dig.
Let's see. Well, I've dug that half penny, but I've never dug, a U.S. large cent.
You've never dug a U.S. large cent?
No.
Really?
The area I live in, most of all that is found, where we went up there in New York.
Yes.
And while I was there, I was really hoping that I would find it.
Yeah.
And all that. But I did find Canadian silver, which you saw.
There you go. There were a lot of people at Pound the Ground finding Canadian coins.
It was weird. Yeah. A lot of them did.
But it's funny. It's just, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around sometimes. But depending on what area you're in the United States, yeah, you've not ever dug a large scent.
It is weird. You tend to find the area of Texas and West Texas and stuff. You find a lot of silver.
Oh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
But not the license. They just weren't as. Not until you go east.
Interesting. Interesting. Is there some place that you'd like to go detecting that you've that you've thought about it, or some country that you'd like to dig something out of their soil, or
the UK, I guess. I don't mudlarking too.
Oh my goodness. That mudlark. Oh, I totally see that. I've just forgotten her name. What is her? Yes, Nicola. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
So my trip that just canceled for May, me and 𝗥𝗔𝗗𝗧𝗏 and Nicola White were going to meet up.
Oh.
We were going to go to the button dump, and we all had to, of course, cancel. My flight got canceled by the Southwest, and her flight got canceled by their company as well. I mean, the flight service actually canceled it for us. We didn't even have to call in. But that definitely be a bucket lister.
Oh
for
my
me.
goodness.
It's just the history there, the age.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Incredible. If you've not checked out Nicola's channel, oh my goodness. Wow.
He is
just wow. I could just sit there and binge watch her. Wow. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. What's next for Gypsy?
I think the most exciting thing is this Apex. Coming and getting to try out and learn a new machine and be able to video it. I am planning on, as soon as our lockdown, it's starting to lighten now, so some of the parks are starting to open up. I've heard some of our state parks are opening up as well. So when I get it, I may be taking it down towards the river, where I've found a lot of...
Shh, don't tell everybody, because there's going to be people following you. The drones will be following you in the sky.
But my plan is to take it to those places that I've hunted before, but I've got some new permissions that I've been working on. I will have to do a little travel. And then I guess from there, we'll see what Garrett has in store for me. A lot of it's going to depend on this lockdown. I know a lot of people are scared that, they're going to open it up and then we're going to have a relapse. So it could happen.
Yes, that is what they're saying, is that it's quite possible that a second wave might happen. But yeah.
And I think the most important thing for people to do is just be cautious, wash your hands, wear a mask if you're going to be around.
Exactly.
That's the main thing.
Yeah. 6 feet. So where can people stay updated to your adventures? Where are you on social media? What platforms are you on?
Okay, so I am on Instagram, and I think it's Gypsy's _Jules. That was really originally my art.
You paint?
I do. That was actually my major in college. I love to draw and paint. But
are you on Twitter?
I am on Twitter. So you can all go to 𝗥𝗔𝗗𝗪𝗥𝗟𝗏 on Twitter, and then I'm one of her followers.
Oh, nice little segue there. I like the way you did that.
So you can follow us. And,
right on.
You can find me on Twitter.
And how about Facebook?
Facebook, go to Zero Discrimination, or you can now follow me on Gypsy Jules. So,
right on. I think, Gypsy, that I think we've come to the end of the visit. I just want to totally thank you for joining us today. Like I said, meeting you at Pound the Ground was like, I have it on video when we first met. I'm like so excited. I'm just like, it was like, oh my goodness, it's actually Gypsy. Like, wow.
You're the only one that I brought coffee to.
Oh my goodness, thank you. I feel very privileged. I really, really do. Oh my goodness. Wow. So yes, definitely. Thank you all. Thank you all in the chat for joining us. I hope we answered some of your questions. I know it's hard to have a guest on the show and keep up to date on the chat, but I do appreciate everyone watching. And I just want to say that if you're watching the show and you're one of Gypsy's posse peeps, yeah, consider checking out Digging Canuck. You might just like my videos, and you might just feel the urge to subscribe to my channel, which would be a wonderful thing. I had to do that, Gypsy. I'm sorry. That was a selfish promotion.
No, not at all.
Next week, next Sunday, I will have Meryl from Metal Detecting New York City as a guest. It's probably going to be a crazy show, and I'm probably not going to do too much talking, but that's okay. So definitely consider joining me. And I just wanted to say that this Thursday on Off the Cuff, it's going to be a little bit different. We're going to be talking about metal detecting ethics as they pertain to cemeteries. Because, Gypsy, you're probably wondering, why is Liz talking about cemeteries? But a little while ago, I saw a video of a boy detecting in a cemetery, and now I contacted him. And I kind of said that, hey, perhaps that's not a good place to be detecting. But recently, people might not know this, but recently I received an email from his dad, who was actually very, very upset that I told his son not to detect at a cemetery. I'm going to be sharing all that, and we're going to be talking about ethics as far as cemeteries and maybe some other places. We're going to talk about that on Thursdays, Off the Cuff, which is at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do, Gypsy.
Oh, sounds interesting.
Oh my goodness. Thank you all very much for joining me. Thank you again, Gypsy. Enjoy the rest of your day. Please stay safe if you are out and about. Remember, 6 feet away. Yeah, wash your hands. Antiseptic is your friend. Lysol is your friend, but do not inject Lysol. It's sad that I need to say this, but do not inject Lysol. It is meant for surfaces, okay? Oh my goodness. Gypsy, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure. Right on. Thank you, Gypsy, for joining me. I'm going to leave you all with this, and right on. We'll see you all next week. Thank you, Gypsy.
Thank you. Right on, y'all.
Right on. Get your official Digging Canuck merchandise at Teespring. Mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, and more. Remember that every purchase you make helps to support the channel. Check out the link in the description down below.